Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to another episode on Fixing Nigeria with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. My name is Anu Ojo, and it's always a pleasure to be on your screens every Friday. But today is different. Today is a Thursday, but the program remains the same. This is Fixing Nigeria, and this is that special program on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's platform where we want to try our best to inspire hope in the heart of every Nigerian, to revive faith in our hearts, and to motivate Nigerians to love their nation as they love themselves, and to also move forward to not waiting for the government to fix the nation, but we as individuals, we as citizens can take our responsibility to fix our nation. So this is Fixing Nigeria, and if you're a Nigerian, I want to specially welcome you to this program. I also want to challenge you to please do all that you can to invite every Nigerian that you know. Please share this video to every Nigerian, both those who are in diaspora and those who reside in Nigeria. If you are from any other nation, I want you to know that you're not left out, because our discussion today and even every episode that we discuss on subjects, we discuss on principles, we discuss on values that will be relevant for you and also will be relevant in the process of national transformation. So I want to welcome you all. Thank you for joining us on Facebook and on YouTube. Well, today we're continuing from where we stopped last week. Last week we discussed on the subject, how do we change the wrong value system in Nigeria? And if you missed last week's episode, I want to tell you that you missed a lot. So I want to encourage you to please go to Dr. Sunday Adelaja's YouTube channel, which is Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Search for the playlist titled Fixing Nigeria, and you would see a drop down of our previous episodes on this program. However, I want you to know that we have the previously on Fixing Nigeria, which will be an excerpt from the last episode. So I would like you to please sit back and have a glimpse into the discussion we had last week. Can we have the first video, please?
Okay, first of all, we need to get the value systems on one hand, and that value system will be able to help us to determine what kind of citizens we want to have.
Yeah.
So thanks to the value system, we can have clear picture that these are at the end of each value system, the result that each value will generate is somebody who is honest, someone who is hardworking, someone who is a brother's keeper, someone who is passionate about the country, someone who is patriotic. So we have a whole list like that, and we know what we are going to get at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, we are going to have a unique people that are going to be known as Nigerians, and only Nigerians will have those kind of set of value systems. You went anywhere they appear, you will just know that this is a Nigerian. They don't need to show their passport. They don't need to talk. They don't need to. Just the way they act, the way they speak. They don't need to, brag. They don't need to. Just by appearing, you will know that. Just like an American appears, you know this is an American. You just know that this is a Nigerian. Not for the negative thing, but because of all those values and the virtues that has been inculcated in every Nigerian. And everywhere they go to, they might have different opinions. They might have different political parties. They might have different tribes, different nationality, but the core values will dictate and define them. So we have to get to a place where Nigerians are defined by values. That is what gives us identity. Right now, what gives us identity? Identity card. We don't even have one. Passport. Only less than 10% of Nigerians, 5% of Nigerians have a passport. Those are physical stuff, even if all of us have passports. What identifies us? What defines? What is the content of a Nigerian character? Who is a Nigerian? So then how do we do this? just very painful to me because I'm 52, I'm going to be 53 soon, and my country has not even been defined. And people of my country don't even have an identity. We need to give definition. We need to give identity to Nigeria and to Nigerians. Okay, let's start with that. Creating a new people is not easy. That is why I and my team, we sat down hard, because we don't have 200 years. We don't have 100 years. We don't even have 50 years. We don't even have 20 years. We had to use scientific methods. Can you show me, because Nigerians don't like to use scientific methods in resolving national issues. They don't like to use scientific method. We are not even used to it. Some of us who study it in universities, in schools, we know the meaning of scientific method, but we don't apply it to life. And that's why I said we don't even know what the essence of education is. So scientific method, it comprises of these main steps that are there. Number one is to ask a question. You need to ask a question. Number two is, first of all, you need to observation. Before you ask question, where is observation? The first thing in scientific method is you observe a problem or you observe a situation. Observation is when you notice anything. The next thing after you notice a problem is to ask questions. You need to question yourself. It's called critical thinking. Without critical thinking, there is no scientific method. And that's why scientific approach to resolving problems is not popular in Nigeria. Because you don't question your leaders, you don't question your elders, you don't question anybody, you have to obey what you are told. That's why we will never get results. That's why we are not result oriented. We are emotional oriented. We are more what do you call it? Sentimental, ephemeral kind of people. We are too sentimental. We base all our decision on ephemeral reasons or celestial reasons. It's all about religion or emotion. All right, but we need what do you call it? Empirical, not ephemeral, but empirical. Basis of decision making. We need empirical, and the only thing that could give us empirical decision making process is scientific method. So that is what we have applied to come up for the solution of this solution of this problem of lack of value in our country. So first of all, you see a problem, you ask a question, you go to a season of brainstorming, and you discuss why this problem. You ask all kinds of questions. How did other people solve it? It is in the process of asking questions that I had to do research on all these countries that have tried to introduce to create a new people. So I studied the way Singapore did it. I studied the way other countries did it, but it's a long way. So after that, after you ask questions, then you begin a process of research. Our people don't like research. If we don't even have research institutes in Nigeria, maybe we have them, but they are not prominent. They are too few. But research is my strength. I like to do research and strategy. So that's my strength. So from the research, we have a team of people. Like I said, we have a think tank that we're working with. Some of them are in Canada, some of them are in Nigeria, some of them are in the US, some of them are non-Nigerians, but we are working together. So after you come up with your research, then you must construct your hypothesis. The hypothesis is, okay, these are possible solutions. Can we solve this problem this way, the China way? Can you solve it the European way, the American way? We say, no, we cannot. There are many reasons for that. So then, but we don't just say we cannot. We came to a conclusion based on studying our hypothesis. We have to submit our hypothesis to experiment. These are steps of scientific method. So, and then after the experiments, then we ask ourselves the question, which one of them is working and which one of them will work for Nigeria? After, we apply scientific method. There are two ways. One is to try to repair things the way they are. It will work because that's what they did in Singapore. But it took them 30 years. That's what they did in. There's a country in Africa that tried to do this, but it failed because they killed the guy. It's called Burkina Faso. And the guy that tried to do it is called Thomas Sankara. But because they killed him, that country went back to the place they started from. But anyway, so one of the things that we could try to do is to try to reform and start all over again and begin to now put things in place. So the way to do that is there are strategies and there are ways that it has been done and there are ways we could do it. So we should find out the source of values that we currently have. So what has made us the way we are? What are the source? What are the place or the places our people get the values that they are now exhibiting from? One, they got them from our tradition and our history. So we have to do something about that. Two, they got it from media. Media is a big factor in dictating who Nigerians become these days. Three, they get them from entertainment. Media and entertainment is like the same thing. Four, they got it from examples that they see around them. So now, then we have to discuss. So how can we correct because people become what they hear, what they see, what they experience, and what is prevalent in their environment. Environment plays 50% role in who you become. What is prevalent where you are. That's why if you go to America, you see a Nigerian that is born in America, you will not believe he's a Nigerian because he speaks differently, he behaves differently. The environment has formed another person in him. So because that environment is another thing so the question now is that how can we remain in the wrong environment of Nigeria and try to repair Nigeria? That's why it takes all those countries that try to do that, it took them years, from 30 years and above. But we don't have 30 years in Nigeria. So what do we do? Because right now, if we want to go that way, it is very easy to try to reform. We need to do two things. We need to propagate and we need to legislate. Legislate through the parliament, through the law, to make them to legislate truth. They need to, first of all, find out all those value systems that we're talking about and legislate that each one of those values must be implemented and inculcated into the educational system, into the entertainment, into the media, into the mosques, churches, into religious organizations, into all government parastatals. That is the legislate. We can do it, but you need somebody with willpower. You need government that is so focused.
An iron fist.
With iron fist that will demand that people abide by them. Yeah. That is one, legislate. Then the second thing is propagate. Propagate is to flood the country with propagation and propaganda. You need massive efforts of social groups, pressure groups, non-governmental organizations, and everybody needs to buy into this, and the all citizens. So those are two ways that we can do it right now without changing much things. But the thing that I am proposing is to replace Nigeria, not to repair Nigeria. But before we do that, that is a low new aspect of things. Because what I want to propose is that we should replace Nigeria. Replace Nigeria's value system altogether. But that is a much more challenging thing. But that's what I would do if I have the opportunity by the grace.
Hello viewers, well, we're here, Dr. Sunday. You're welcome to today's episode.
My pleasure.
Well, I cannot well help but smile every time I hear you use that phrase, replace Nigeria. Sometimes I try to question why am I smiling? And I think perhaps it is because of the unconventional idea that is backing the replacing Nigeria. Or perhaps it could be that it's a concept that I've not heard about it before. So anytime you say replace, I want to replace Nigeria, it just makes me like, okay, this is definitely unconventional, unheard of, and it's something that we really must dig deep and understand where you're coming from. Because if this is something that we don't see everywhere, we don't see people, say that they want to replace Nigeria. We've had, even the intellectuals in Nigeria would not prefer wanting to replace Nigeria with, coming from where you're speaking from. But today we're going to talk more about it. Last week we discussed on that subject on how do we change the value system of Nigeria, and you highlighted the two ways to do that. Either we propagate or we legislate. And today we want to go even deeper. We want to address the question of how do we, this time we're not changing, this time we're not repairing, but this time to replace the value system of Nigeria. So I think it's going to be an interesting discussion and I look forward to it. Well, before I allow you to start explaining, I want us to listen to our current President Muhammadu Buhari about a speech he made, I think 2016. Can we have the video? And I'm going to make my comments after the video. So this is by President Muhammadu Buhari. Let's watch the video, please.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has kicked off a social change campaign called Change Begins With Me. He's pledged to get rid of corruption and other social vices, but he has warned Nigerians that they too must change their attitudes. The president has praised his government's efforts to fight corruption, adding that the campaign is a way of getting ordinary Nigerians to join in. President Buhari maintains the current recession is due to a disintegration of social values encouraged by impunity and corruption. He's also said that he's not under any illusion that the necessary change would happen overnight.
I am therefore appealing to all Nigerians to be part of this campaign. Our students must realize that the change they want to see begins with them. If you have not seen the change in you, you cannot see it in others, or even the larger society. In other words, before you ask, where is the change they promise us? You must first ask, how far have I changed my ways? What have I done to be part of the change for the greater good of society?
Now CCTV's Deji Badmus is keeping tabs on this story. He's joining us now with more details from Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos. Deji, a campaign to promote good behavior. What exactly does this new campaign entail in practical terms?
Well, in practical terms, the campaign is basically designed to bring about value change in the society. The president and this administration believes that over time, values in this country have been eroded, and for the president, it's one of the reasons why you still have the problem of corruption. It's one of the problems, the reasons why you still have corruption, not just in government, even in the private sector as well. It's also for him part of the problem why, part of the reason why we still have, for instance, cultism in our universities. And so what this whole thing is designed to do is to bring about a complete value change, even change in Nigerians' habit to such issues as beating traffic light, for instance. The president says he wants Nigerians to change their habit. For him, he believes that if Nigerians are able to change, go back to what used to be the core values of this country, then the country will be the better for it, and that things will change for the better. So that is what this campaign is actually designed to achieve.
Well, Deji, going back to President Buhari's
All right. Well, Dr. Sunday, many people call you a Buharist. Many people believe that you are in and all for Buhari. I want you to please give your remarks, because it's, what he said in that speech is in sync with our conversation or that we've been having so far. So I want you to give your remarks on the speech that he made and the campaign that he and his administration spoke about as regards Nigeria and campaigning for values.
Well, I think obviously it is clear by now that even if the president meant what he said, that he didn't actualize it. And I'm even afraid that the president himself must have forgotten that he launched such a campaign or the date that it was. Nigeria as a whole, obviously, have forgotten about this campaign, even if they are aware of it at all. Nigerians might not even be aware of this. It's just something that elites are doing to comfort themselves. Is another word I wanted to use for comfort. What was it? When a child is crying, you pilate or placate. You. Huh? No. That's another word. Anyway, it's just something that they are doing to just comfort themselves. Rub themselves in the back as if they are doing something. But, nothing is done, because this was last year, right?
Yeah.
And or 2 years ago. Yeah. And what is the effect? I mean, even the people who attended that meeting have forgotten they were there. So, but it's a good thing that the president himself is aware, and all these people that initiated this, that they are aware that there must be something is wrong with our values, and that the problem is with our values. But what is the solution? They said, okay, Buhari is saying there that the change must begin with me. If the change must begin with me, he's trying to use information to resolve the problem that is endemic. He's thinking, okay, we'll tell every Nigerian, okay, you let the change start with you. Change yourself. If you see change in yourself, then you can demand change from other people. If you don't change, others will not change. He's trying to reason out, the solution. He's trying to reason. He said, this is the solution. Let's change. Let everybody say, yeah, and they even gave it that name. Change begins with me. So everybody will just go. So the murderers now will just, okay, president has said it. Change begins with me. Let me change. Let me change. The 419 now will say, change begins with me. Let me change. The corrupt politicians will say, change begins with me. Let me change. Just by themselves. Things don't work like that in real world, Mr. President. Things don't work. Change needs to be enforced.
Yeah, enforced change.
And people don't change until there is pain. You are going to an air-conditioned hall, and you are reading a scripture. a script, and saying, okay, in the air conditioner, no pain, nobody. Even the people, the corrupt politicians are sitting down there. Without any pain, without any something. You are just, everybody must say, oh, change must begin with me. Everybody is clapping. Don't change anything like that. Another tax just happened yet. Another manufacturer has to stick that as well.
Interesting. Well, I guess that is, I remember, I think the last 2 episodes, you said if you had the opportunity, you would school not only the president, but you school all
the
of
nation,
the whole nation.
Yeah. The government, the nation, everyone.
Yeah, but perhaps, they are coming from an angle of change and wanting to change the value system. They want, fix the value system. But you are coming with a different, you're not even using the word change as such. Like, you want to replace the value system of Nigeria. So I want to give you the floor right now to take us on that journey on how you and your team having used the scientific method that we discussed last week to replace the value system in Nigeria?
Well, I must confess that I myself was just like every other person. And I was starting to approach the problem with Nigeria with the philosophy of change initially. I started with change. Then I started having interaction with different people who are also having burden and love for Nigeria. So some of them are the think tank that I'm talking about right now. And there is this group of people in Canada. And they are the ones who told me that, okay, they listened to me, they listened to my arguments, and they said, pastors, let's face it, it is impossible to just change Nigeria like that. You know, we have to talk about replacement. So that whole concept of replacement was started thanks to the idea that these people came up with. So we are the same team now, we're in it as a team, we're working as a team. But this is how, you know, I started to consider the idea of replacement. So what does it mean to replace Nigeria? And especially in these terms, we are talking about value system. And we have to replace the value system of Nigeria. First of all, I want to say that anytime you see anything good and anything that works, it cannot be by accident. For example, if you have an iPad, I have an iPad here. This iPad, do you think somebody just went to the street and saw? I mean, nobody created it. It just by itself. No, it just appeared.
Definitely.
It's not possible.
No.
Even if the iPad has been created and nobody charged it, it will not be working.
That's right.
But if you see it is charged, because even if it's been created, the iPad has been created and somebody lost it and it's been in the street for a year or 2 years, it would be dead by that time because you would need at least elementarily to charge it. But you just saw something, it's still fresh. The battery is full, it's charging, it's working. And even if it is charged, and there is nobody who puts SIM card inside, or who puts apart from SIM card, what do you need? Money.
Yeah.
You need money to charge it.
Yeah.
So if nobody put all that, even though it is charged and it is working, it's created, it will still not work.
It won't work, yes.
So nothing happens by accident in life. You know, it is naive of us to think that Nigeria will just, you know, think that change begins with me and change. So when you see a developed country or a developed continent like Europe, it's because there is a designer behind it. There is always somebody. If you see a beautiful picture, a beautiful painting, and you say, oh, this is a beautiful painting, I like it. But you have to ask, who painted it? There is a brain, there is an intelligence consciousness that is behind that thing. There is an intelligent design. There is somebody who painted that picture, that painting. So somebody who is informed about what he wants to create. He has a picture in his mind. He has a vision. And he had an understanding of how to paint too. Because personally, I could have a vision of a beautiful painting, a beautiful town or city, but I don't know how to paint. So that person that created that picture, that artwork that you are admiring, that person had an understanding. He had a picture in his mind. He had a vision. Then he had skills. He has expertise. All those things are needed for I and you to enjoy the artwork that we have seen, that we are admiring. As it is with iPad, as it is with artwork, so it is with nations or individuals. The only thing that grows by itself is grass. It's not garden. The difference between grass or forest and garden is that forest just grows by itself, loosely. Huh?
Haphazardly.
Yeah, you know, haphazardly and indiscriminately.
Yeah.
But when it's a garden,
Well, you know there's somebody doing something.
you know, there is a brain behind it, there is someone behind it. So also with a nation. So when I saw some of the pictures that they were showing there about Nigeria, you could see that there's no brain behind, no designer, no visionary. I can't see order. I can't see a beautiful picture. So nobody is there with constructive mind and a picture in their mind and the expertise to bring it to pass. So when you see Europe functioning, North America functioning, or developed countries functioning, it is a purposeful effort of some informed individual with vision, with passion, with zeal, with understanding, and with clarity of what they wanted, and with the expertise and skills to bring it to pass. So when we are saying we want a better Nigeria, and we want better Nigerians, there must be somebody that has an idea of how to create a new nation and a new people. When we are talking about value system, because we have spoken that nations are built by their values. So who is going to come up with the design of the values? And who is going to come up with how to get those values into creating a new set of Nigerians? So if we want a new country, then we need new people. We need people with a new mindset. And who is going to, what would that mindset look like? Who will define it? And after defining it, who will come up with the technology of how to get it into the people? Who will have the know-how? Then who will labor for it to come to pass? A lot of questions we need to answer when we want a better nation and a developed country, a civilized country, that I don't see anybody addressing. So Nigeria will not just come to become the country of our desire and of our dream just by playing the fire brigade approach that we are doing right now, that we are just resolving problems, we are just going through the motion. We are selling oil, we are, resolving problems that arise. This has to be a master design, a master plan. This has to be a work of foresight. Somebody has to see ahead, at least 50 years ahead, and then build that future already in his mind, 50 years ahead from today, in his mind, in his imagination, and then have the expertise to be able to create it, so that by the time, so that the people, it will be able to carry people along and will be able to see the manifestation of what he is the only one seeing when nobody else is seeing. So when it comes to changing a value system of a nation, with a nation like Nigeria, we cannot do change again. We are too late for that. Things are so bad, things are so disastrous that it is too late to try to change Nigeria right now, and especially to change the value system of Nigerians. Everything is destroyed. So what I propose and my team is that we will replace Nigeria as a whole, and we will also replace Nigerians' mindset or Nigerians' value system. So how do we do that? That's why I taught last time about scientific method and of approach to resolving situations and problems. After a lot of analysis, we have discerned an approach that will allow this to happen. For us to be able to replace the mindset and the value system of Nigerians, we will need to channel, like through a funnel. We would need to channel all Nigerians and see them go through a system or a funnel system or tunnel kind of system that will be created. So we are going to create a system that is going to be like a tunnel, the tunnel or funnel that every person who is a Nigerian and is living in the country, or who is not a Nigerian but is living in the country as a permanent resident, we have to go through that tunnel system. But it's not going to be easy for you to understand what I'm talking about, because you have thousands of questions in your mind. But let me try to help you, because we know what we want. We have a strategy for it. We have a system for it. And I'm going to try to help you and show you some illustrations of this. But before I say that, let me try to say a country that attempted to change and succeeded in changing the value system of their people is Singapore. The way they did it is that they established school of character. Is that school of character?
Yes.
In every street. In one street, you could have up to 10 school of characters. So from the age of 3, people have to go through that school of character till the age of 80. So that is how they were able. So if anybody messes up or misbehaves, it's not just the court system. Apart from the court system, you have to still go to school of character. If anybody has family problem, they send them to school of character. If anybody spits on the floor, they send them to school of character. If anybody throws paper on the ground, you pay your fine, but before you could be restored to the society, you have to go to the school of character. So we are still going to have that too. That is to maintain. But in our own case, we've never had values. We've never been taught values as a system. The kind of teaching in values that we have in Nigeria is what the parents do. Parents could say, okay, don't steal, or it's bad to steal. But those parents, they don't have a system to it. And they don't have a list. It's not a system, a value system. It's just what is bad, what is not, what is bad, what individual. Just one there, one this one says, this one says. It's not a system. But we are talking of, impacting upon our nation a whole system. So like the school of character kind of mindset could also be introduced, but later after the people have been initially taught and be initiated into the whole concept of value system. But then if you want to replace and not repair, then we have to also uproot the old mindset that people have. So it's going to be a process of pain and a whole lot of determination. And people might say this is not possible. Well, maybe it's not possible, but we will prove to the country and show the country that we have an answer. It's going to work. So you tell me, Nigerians, do you want a change or not? If you want change, this will bring you change. If you want Nigeria to be great and to be developed and become like Europe, this is it. This is the way. Now, we will not say that there's no way. Nobody has come with a solution. We will come with the solution. And let Nigerians decide, will they do it or not? If we need to do a referendum, we'll call for a referendum. If we need the politicians to pass a bill in the parliament, we have to lobby for that to happen. If we need the president to issue a decree, we have to do something. But we have the solution, and we will say, if you want a new Nigeria, let's go through this process. If we are ready to pay the price as a nation, or the leadership are going to take the decision, we will have a new Nigeria. So what are we going to do? We want to, let me show you the pictures. Can you show me the pictures that I gave you? Let's see the pictures.
Well, you're about to go into the details right now.
Yes,
I
shouldn't be.
Let's take a small pause right now.
Okay, maybe you want me to create more clarity by talking, or
you're going to continue with your chain of thoughts. I just want to create a break for our viewers to relax, and because we're about to change gear, I believe, because about showing pictures. Let me just talk about some books that are relevant, and then we continue. The book you can see right here is titled Nigeria and the Leadership Question. Well, this is the first book that introduced me to value system. As somebody was speaking, what we know as values are just the domestic values and the individual values, but values being a system, put in a systemized way, in a holistic way that would create an individual and create a society, and that would lead to not just that little society, but even on a national scale. This was the book that introduced me into it. And I want you to get to read it. If you're Nigerian, and even people who are not Nigerians read this book, and they found the book relevant to them, even sometimes even more relevant to their nation than Nigeria. So this is the book I would like to encourage you to read, Nigeria and the Leadership Question. Everybody's talking about leadership in Nigeria, but this book really addresses it. The other book I want us to talk about, and I would like to encourage you to do all that you can to get that book, is the book titled The Value-Driven Nation. That is one of the latest books that Dr. Sunday has produced or released. We're talking about Nigeria and how we want to change and replace the value system of Nigeria. But this book talks about the unshakable principles that has been tested and tried and has produced the Europe that we see today, and has even produced all of the civilization that we see today. What values actually produce that, and how can we learn from history, and how can we set our nation? If you're from Nigeria, how can we set Nigeria on the track of values? Or if you're from Botswana, how can we set Botswana on the track of values? So that is what this book is addressing, the value-driven nation. These books are available free. You can get them free on Amazon Kindle Unlimited if you're a subscriber. And you could also order for the books on Okada Books, or if you're in Nigeria and you want to get the hard copy of this book, you could order it on dsabooksplanet.com. dsabooksplanet.com. Yeah, just one word, dsabooksplanet.com. So we're continuing on the discussion. How do we not just change the value system of Nigeria, but how do we replace it? And Dr. Sunday is about to explain to us how this can be done or will be done. Because I know you're not just talking about can anymore, but how will it be done?
Yeah, we have it. We have it spelled out. We have it drawn out. We have this the project. We have the sketches. We have the plan. We have the understanding. We have the projection. We have the illustration. We have the pictures. We have the certainty of how to do it.
Beautiful.
So, what I would like you to do when I will be talking about it, I will need you to use the cursor you have to point to I would say green or red. Okay, let's see the pictures. Oh, good. So this red picture that you are seeing here, the red square. Yeah, that red square. Let's assume, yes, this one. Let's assume that is Nigeria, the way it is now. That is Nigeria, the way it is now. And everything needs to be replaced. So how do you replace a country when it is just one entity within itself? Will you pack all the people away from the territory, from the entity where they are in now, and take them away to England, America, or somewhere, or to Ghana, and then first of all replace the country, rebuild it, and then bring them back? That's not possible, especially when you're talking about 200 million people. So there is a strategy that we want to use. We call it 3-zone strategy. So what we plan to do is to get a place, a spot, a zone of that territory of Nigeria, like the green one. You see the green? Yes, and what do you call it? Cut it out. encircle it or border, what do you call it? Cut it out, barricade it. Yes, barricade it. And but because Nigeria is big, the way we are going to do it is that we are going to do it in every geopolitical zones.
Okay.
We have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. So every one of them will have a launching place like this. We call it front line.
Okay.
A barricaded, let's say, barricaded place that would be the size of, that would be able to host at one time 250,000 people at least, or 350,000 people.
Okay.
So, but then apart from the ones we're going to be having in the zones, we'll have a giant one, a bigger one that will have up to 500,000 people that will be able to hold. We have the place for it already. We have the territory in Nigeria for it, and every zone also. We will explain this to the parliament, and we explain that every zone, one state, or in every zone we have about 5 states or 6 states. Mm-hmm. Let them give us one, a territory, like that. So when we have that place, because you cannot take the people out of the country, so what we are going to do is that we are going to buy that place we have taken. We are going to turn that place to heaven on earth.
Okay.
Nobody living there. The only people that will be staying there in the first 6 months or so, or 1 year, will be only specialists, only workers. Some of them will be Nigerians, some of them will be foreigners, but we will build a first-class world in that place, smart city. So the best that will compete with whatever you have in America, whatever you have in Europe, whatever you have in Japan. It will be the highest and the latest standard of living anywhere in the world.
So you want to build, let's take for example the Southwest.
Yes.
So you look for a location in the Southwest.
You got it.
And then rebuild that.
So let's say Lagos. No, let's say Akure. We have to look for Southwest. Where we have the largest parcels of land. Okay. Let's say it is between Ekiti and Ondo.
Okay.
And somewhere there. So the 2 states would donate that piece of land to us. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Uncultivated land, nothing there.
Yeah, uncultivated land, just piece of land.
Just piece of land. Then you build a smart city.
We will first of all cut it out. We will not cut it out. What they call
barricade it.
Barricade it. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And build the most sophisticated lifestyle city there.
But we're not talking about time frame yet.
No, we're not talking about time frame.
Just the idea.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So by the time we finish building that city, we will also set up a system within that city that will be able to accommodate. It will all be empty. A city that is built but empty, only the people that will be there will be the administration of that city and the workers. And when the workers are finished, the whole thing is empty. Can you imagine a city that is empty but can take 500,000 people or 250,000 people?
It's interesting.
But everything will be functioning. 24 hours, water, electricity, an apartment, an house, flat, everything. Shares in the flat, everything will be furnished.
Everything set.
Yes.
Wow.
Then, apart from that, there will also be barracks, so to say. Maybe not barracks, we should call them. Like halls, like centers.
Okay.
Transformational centers or educational centers, like universities.
Okay.
But not university, like, realize why it's called barracks, I call them, like camps
okay.
within that new city. So what will happen with that new city is that, so now, okay, let's say we start it in the middle, just for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
Let's now look at that grain. Can you point the grain? Point to the grain, point the cursor to the grain. So that grain is that new, let's say that is the place we took in Ondo State.
All right.
So we bought that place because it was free. It could be in the corner, it doesn't have to be in the middle, it could be in the corner, it could be anywhere. So, but the red place, you see, it is surrounded, you see the black around the grain.
That's the barricade, right?
That is the barricade.
Beautiful.
The fence.
Okay.
And the barricade.
So no one can go into it anyhow?
Okay. You have to have a pass.
Okay.
So, but life will be going in and there, everything perfect. So what we are going to do, how are we going to build a new Nigeria? We are going to now, if we stretch that boundary, we will not stretch it. There is a gate inside there, right? What we are going to go, we are going to go, go to the red, point to the red, outside of the gate, outside of the black. Yeah, that's what, yes. But close, make it closer to the, yes. The very immediate environment, the immediate, talk from one side first, yeah. The immediate red. You see the arrow. You see the arrow taken from the red to the green. You see the arrow.
Yeah.
Now Srelock, package Srelock. Well, you see that arrow is coming from red to green. So what it's doing is that it is evacuating people who are closest to the border, to that zone that we have, to that city that we have built. The people, the neighbors, people who are closest to it are being withdrawn. You see, you could take it from red to green. Are being withdrawn from red, from the Nigeria that we have right now, and being evacuated to be placed in the new city. And then the same thing could be done from the other side, from the other red that is here, from that side to this, they will be evacuated from red to green. So now, why do we need those camps inside? The camps inside will be places where, meanwhile, Nigeria is going on, nobody knows what's going on. They are living their lives. Everybody is living their lives.
It's just like what happens in the Oedipu's camps.
Yes.
Because those camps are barricaded too.
Yes.
But unlike
not Oedipu only,
and Adeboye
camp,
all those MFM
camp, all of them have camp. Everybody, Nigeria is doing its own thing, but there are thousands of people, millions of people and nobody even notices that anything is going on. Yeah. But what we are going to do is that we are not just going to take people accidentally. People who are around that area. We are going to withdraw them from all their houses and going to give them new houses, new apartments in the
new frontier zone.
In the frontiers, in the
green
new
environment
city.
Yeah.
But before they have opportunity or right to take on anything, they are not going to live there forever, just for experiment. But before they have opportunity to live, we are going to tell them, you see the life here. This is the Nigeria you are going to. This is, by the time you go back, because we are going to send them back to where we took them.
Wow.
But why we withdrew them from that place, red place, we are building a new city in that place where they have been withdrawn from.
Okay.
You get.
So the environments where they were before, I mean their location.
Yeah.
So while you evacuate them from there and bring them into the green section.
Yes.
So you start replicating
the same
environment in that place.
Yeah, the same the best life, in the best city that you are seeing in this green zone. By the time they come out, we will not let them come out of this heaven where they are in now until we have replicated that heaven in that territory where we took them from.
Beautiful.
But they will not go there. First of all, the first thing we are doing is that we understand that through scientific method, that the greatest effect on people, on human beings, is caused by environment. That is why the Bible says that no matter how good manner you have, bad company will corrupt that
good
manners, which means environment supersedes every other thing. It supersedes values even. So we bring the people. Why is it that Nigerians who are in America in a new environment,
just give them 1 or 2 months, they get their act right?
Second day,
because of the environment is already set.
Why is it that Nigerians are not behaving like Nigeria in America? Even if they are, nobody knows it. Because the environment is making them to behave like the America. You remember Shinwe said that.
Yes.
That we are Nigerian, we live in America. That is environment for you. Environment have the power, 50% power to control your thinking, even when you don't want to think like that. Sure. That's why we needed to first of all create a model Nigeria in that green place.
A model environment.
A perfect environment, model environment, future Nigeria, a model Nigeria for them. And then before they get out of there, we train them how to live in this new environment. So there are many stages they will have to pass through. So once they get there like that, they will not go and go into stay in those houses immediately. They will stay in the camp that is within that city. And the first camp within that city is what we are going to use to, there are going to be different groups. There is the number one camp there is the camp for accelerated education. For those people who don't know how to read and write. So we are going to, within the very short, by the time we pass the whole Nigeria through that green something, everybody will know how to read and write.
Wow. So that resolves the whole illiteracy. Amazing.
You are very smart.
Amazing.
So we are going to resolve 2 questions at a time. So for 50 years, our country has not been able to resolve
that
illiteracy problem.
Wow.
But in 3 years or 4 years, we are going to get all Nigeria, maximum 7 years, all Nigeria will become educated in English, Russian, and their language.
Amazing.
So that is just the elementary one. That one we are not counting it. We are going to have accelerated eradication of illiteracy.
Wow.
But that is not the main purpose why we are taking them. That's not even the goal. So we are replacing illiteracy with literacy automatically. Yeah. That's replacement. That's the elementary level of replacement. But there are other levels of replacement. The other levels of replacement, we have a program for it. The kind of mindset that must be replaced before they come out of that place. So for example, one of the mindsets could be Nigerians are lazy. Or maybe they're not lazy, but they don't think, because Nigerians are lazy intellectually. They can work physically, but they are not critical thinkers. Before they get out of the, we will replace that. Nigerians, that, for example, think that being smart is a good thing instead of being wise. They want to outsmart everybody else. Beat the system, being cunning. We'll replace all those things before they come out. Through different, don't let us go into techniques, into the details now. So they will be going from one group, one category to the other, from one camp. So they will be in one place, for example, for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, just inculcating a new value system before they go into the next camp for the next school class 2. Just like you have class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, primary 1, primary, the same thing will happen there. But just for values, the first stage is illiteracy. The next other thing are values, how to behave in a civilized society.
Beautiful.
So then there will be another class for people who have already lived in civilized society. So that another way we will program them to be able to now help reproduce that in Nigeria. For people who have never left Nigeria, it's another something.
Another group.
Yes. Let's see another picture. Phase 2. Is that phase 2?
Yes.
Now, I will now allow you to explain what you are saying to people. I hope you understand that picture that you are seeing now. I've explained everything, but from this picture, try to use this picture to now explain to people.
Okay, so let's have the cursor on the very first one.
Yes.
So
is it on the red one?
Yeah.
Or?
Let's start with the green one.
On the green, okay.
So the green one is that new smart city, new environment.
Yes.
That we want to create, and we bring people from the red, from the red section.
Yes.
That is the present Nigeria that we have, and we bring them into that green, and then they go through all the process of training, right? Now
and replacing
replacement of their values.
Yes.
So let's go to the next picture now. So this is the phase 2.
Okay.
So you remember that you said that while we are bringing people from the red zone into the green zone, we are working already, replicating the green zone at that previous red zone.
Yes.
So what we see now is that people who have gone through the process
through the green
process of replacement of values, and they've
Yeah.
inculcated the new values
lifestyle.
and new lifestyle. Then we put them back
to where they came
to
from.
where they came from,
And that is why it is what
and
color?
then it becomes blue,
Which means a new
people and a new environment and a new nation.
Nigeria
Yeah.
and a new Nigerians.
and a new Nigerians.
So those ones coming from that other side, that is where they go
to.
Those ones coming from this other side,
Then they
go
go
back
to their side.
so but you still have why is it that then we still retain the green?
Yeah, because with that green zone, we're going to bring people from that other red zone.
So the green zone keeps on working,
yes,
because as long as there is still a
red zone.
spot
Yeah.
zone remaining,
Yes.
it has to function.
Yes,
So until there is no more,
there's no more red zone. So the green zone becomes that the
buffer, what they call buffer,
the buffer zone. Yeah, the buffer zone where the replacements machinery and technology, re-engineering
is a re-engineering center.
Beautiful. And this is going to be in the
All the six
geographical zones.
So life is going on there
Normally
everywhere. So the ones that have returned, they are also having their own life. But you see the border, don't forget about the black.
so even the people that new blue zone will be barricaded. Otherwise, people from that red zone will go and that's so true.
So that they don't mess up the whole
thing up.
They will need a pass to go through that.
Wow.
But then it's not just replacement of value system, it's replacement of physical country.
Even
so all the road they are talking about.
Infrastructure,
now you are talking.
everything.
So you remember one time here we spoke about replacing the infrastructure.
Very true.
Now you see how it's going to happen.
Wow. So it makes the whole system. So everything is happening at once.
At one time. So the green something is the core. It's going to be the backbone where all the things will extend from. So that green something you are saying, the 100% fiber optic will be there. 100% electricity will be built there. So from there is when they are now being extended. So just like people are being extended, infrastructure also, everything.
Wow. Brilliant. Wow. Amazing.
Let's now go and see the third picture. I'm crazy, right?
The idea
crazy.
is really crazy because,
thanks to my team.
Wow.
Thanks to the team. They are the ones who are crazy. What was the next? You have another one?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So
now explain to me what you are saying here.
So this gives like the timeline.
Yeah.
So it gives the timeline.
The progression of it.
Yeah.
You see, but it's not just timeline. You see the details in progression. Everything you have explained before. Can you start again?
Of course. So let's start with the very.
And you will see each picture will give you different change. So you have to explain the progression you see in each picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the red.
The first is the red, which is the Nigeria that we have with decayed value system.
Yeah,
red.
Everything ruined, damaged. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the start. Then we go to phase one.
Yes.
So in the phase one, we have the green zone, which we call the buffer zone or the re-engineering zone.
Yes.
Barricaded.
Yes.
In the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria.
Yes. And another major one in somewhere.
Yeah, another major one in another area.
Yeah.
Now, from this green zone, that is the new environment. That's the new Nigeria that we want to see.
Yes.
So we take people from the red zone.
Yes.
And we bring them into the green zone.
Yes.
And they go through the re-engineering process.
Yes.
So, and we know that while they're going through the re-engineering process,
life is continuing.
Life is going.
Everything is still majority.
Everything is still fine. Majority is red. So life is going on. Nobody even knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And the regions we took them from we are recreating the same.
That's number 3.
Yeah, that's number 3 now. We are recreating the same environments in the green. And then we start taking them back gradually. So that's why we see the very little blue
So
zone
it
there.
will have limited effect in the beginning. You will not even know anything.
Anything's happening.
Because they are so, compared to 200 million, they are so few. Just 200,000, 300,000, 500,000 first. So that's why it is so
little there. The blue zone is very little.
Well, tell them what is the blue.
Yeah, but the blue zone right now refers to the place where people who have gone through the re-engineering process. So this place now has the new environment that we need for Nigeria. It also
New infrastructure.
the new infrastructure,
Roads,
the new roads,
everything.
everything, the new people.
Yes.
With the replaced.
Now it has new people too.
Yes.
That's why it's blue.
That's why it's
everything
blue.
is new.
So it's
the
all
future
blue.
Nigeria of our dream.
Yeah.
It is America, Europe in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
But it's still very small.
Very small, and it's also barricaded.
Yes.
So that because we still have a lot
But
of
everybody in that place is now already living like,
civilized people.
yeah, and nobody is uneducated there.
No one's educated.
They have senior people's house, they have the best hospitals, they have everything.
Everything done.
Yes.
So we go to the next phase, which is phase 2B.
Yes.
Now you notice that the blue zone, the green zone remains the same.
Yes.
It doesn't increase or decrease.
Yes.
The same. But now what we notice in this,
Red from majority,
so for the red reduces
that's the biggest change because you
Yes.
see, from red, overwhelming red,
to reduced red,
Red.
right now and increased blue. So what we see right now is that we're extending that new Nigeria that we see with the new people, while we still have the green zone, which is the re-engineering zone, and we still
training
have
those ones who
other
have been
people
withdrawn.
who have been withdrawn. Yes, and we still have the red zone that still have
Still living
Nigerians
Niger life.
still doing their things. Then we now go to the phase 2C, where
almost.
the red part is gone,
Yes, but it's still there.
but it's still there. And then we have an increased blue section, which is the new Nigeria with the new people with the
Dominant
new,
presence.
Yeah, dominant presence right now. So what we have at the final stage, which is the end, is that little red zone that we had left is all gone. So now we have the new environment, we have the new infrastructures we need, we have the new people that we want as Nigerians, and then we have the new Nigeria.
Because at this stage, everybody that's going through that system, there has been a structure of values that they must inculcate
live by.
and the ones they must get rid of. So the whole thing is set up in the form that the environment itself is helping them to get
Eradicate
rid
those
of
things.
the ones that we don't want.
Yes.
And then the ones that we want are also the environment and teacher, everything is put in the
Interesting. And this system, if I get you right, is for every Nigerian to go through.
There is nobody, unless they are too old to work or to be moved around.
Amazing.
So 90%, 98%, our good plan is to have 98% of Nigerians go through it.
And what do you think,
But even if you just have 80% of Nigeria, it's okay.
if 80% of Nigerians go through this process,
Yes.
what do you think about the whole data issue we've been talking about?
But,
and biometric?
but that's how it is just resolved.
Beautiful.
If you cannot get into that place without being registered.
So that also solves.
It also the
Biometric
biometric database from all of them. They're not just being registered; their
thumb
thumbs,
prints.
everything is taken.
So that means this.
So everything will be systematized. Everybody will be registered. Everybody will be dated, or what do you call it?
we'll have their data. And
Yeah, everybody will be accounted for.
Yeah.
Every child that's been born. Without that, you cannot be a citizen. You cannot get any service that is in that place, in that new country. You cannot go to school. You cannot be registered. You cannot get hospital service without those ones.
Wow. Amazing. So this is a whole system.
But this is just elementary thing, just to show people
The
an
idea.
idea. Because you've been pressing me too much.
Because, when you say you want to replace Nigeria, because, this
But the project and the complexity of it is, but I've tried to make it
as simple as possible. Yeah, because
you were saying something that when I said
because when you say you want to replace Nigeria, it is, like we said in one of the previous programs, it is a task that can be synonymous to, or that we can classify it in the same caliber of
going to the
moon,
yeah,
or even creating the internet that we have.
Yeah,
because this definitely isn't going to be a walk in the park.
You see, that's why we need people who are serious, who are dedicated, and we will explain to them. We'll go to the parliament, we'll present the case, we'll tell them we'll do it. Just don't disturb us. If you want to pass something, pass the law, do anything you need to do. Just don't disturb us. Let's just do the thing. If you are ready to compete with the world, to overtake the world, let's do it.
Wow.
We will not even ask for the budget from them. We will bring the money in ourselves.
So you don't need the government budget in this?
No. Let them be shopping their own corruption, they're shopping their oil money. Let them be doing their own thing.
Wow.
We will not disturb them, but don't disturb us. Help us to build a new country.
So you see the government as the biggest challenge in
yes,
in addressing this?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
If they don't want to change, if they don't want to agree, and they want to disturb, hinder us, we also have strategies on how to resolve that one. But I would not like to have done that. Yeah, I would have liked for them to get sense and agree for us to build a new Nigeria.
So your plan is to. So how do you plan to sell this idea? You're going to sell the idea to the government first before you sell it to the people,
yes,
right? Wow. I mean, let me address the government. If any of the government officials will be listening to us, please can you just have the camera on me? So, or maybe both of us.
No, you.
Well, first, let me address our amazing viewers who are watching us right now on Facebook and on YouTube. The first thing is, this idea that Dr. Sunday is sharing about the strategy to replace Nigeria. I don't know what you think about it, but you can drop your comment on the comment section. And I would like to also encourage you to, share this video if you can. Share this video to your Nigerian friends. Let them at least be opportune to see a discussion that is talking about birthing a new Nigeria, but coming with an unconventional idea. Maybe they could see hope, or maybe they could see something that they've not seen before. So I just want to encourage everyone who is listening to us, if you're listening on Facebook or on YouTube, kindly share this video. And also you can tag any government official that you know. Maybe it's your local government chairman, or your councillor, or your governor, or your senator. If you have any of their contacts, it would be great if you can send them this, so that they can actually see this and at least have an idea that this is possible, and there are some people who are actually sitting down to think. Dr. Sunday said earlier that nothing in life happens by accident. If you see a developed America today, it wasn't because it just got developed all of a sudden, or accidentally they just became developed. But it was because there was a brain behind it. And I just think that is what we all must hear. That before you see any great thing, always remember that there was a brain behind it. There was one person or a group of people who sat down, caught the vision, developed that vision, and they were able to bring that vision to fruition through their expertise, which he talked about. And then through understanding, they were able to establish what they saw in their mind. And what Dr. Sunday just shared right now is a vision. And he has said it with his think tank that he has. They were able to come up with this idea on how not just to change Nigeria or how to repair Nigeria or Nigerians, but how to replace Nigerians. So please, I want to address also any government official that would be opportune to watch this video. I don't know if you have the nation at heart, and if you want Nigeria to be that great nation, I personally don't think there should be any reason not to buy into this idea. As a matter of fact, it should be every politician, everyone who loves Nigeria. Now, I'm talking about people who really love Nigeria and want Nigeria to move forward, people who have Nigeria at heart. We need everybody to actually get to listen to this idea, sit down, call your people, and let them, at least let's have a discourse. Let's see if this can actually be a possibility. And when it's time for us to come to Nigeria and we need to work on this, I mean, please don't be a stumbling block. Rather, you should even join in lobbying for this idea of replacing Nigeria to work. I know, of course, that we're going to have people who would want to go for their own self pleasure than for the nation. But I'm sure if the majority of us would move for this, then Nigeria would definitely be fixed. So please, government officials listening to me, wherever you are in Nigeria or even out of Nigeria, please listen to this again. Maybe go back, listen to the whole idea and see that Nigeria actually can be changed. But not even beyond the change that we're actually clamoring for, Nigeria can be replaced. And I want you to just pay attention to the book right here that you can see on the screen, how Nigeria can become the greatest nation or country in the world. Well, this is a book by Dr. Sunday where he documents amazing testimonies. I mean, facts why there is no reason on earth why Nigeria should not be amongst the top leading nations in the world. He even went further to say that Nigeria can become the greatest country in the world. So I want to encourage everyone who is listening to me, wherever you are from, especially if you're Nigerian, to please do well to get this book titled How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. Dr. Sunday, quickly before I give the announcement to our viewers that they can call in, let's talk about...
They should begin to write.
Okay, maybe they can write. Okay, so if you're interested in calling in, you could just write. You know how to do it, but I'll repeat it. Just go to Move Agents on Facebook Messenger and then write to us that you are interested in calling in to contribute or to ask questions or just anything you would like to do. Just inform us that you would like to call in and then we will call you
Agents.
on Move Agents. Yeah, Move
Madik.
Agents. Yeah, Madik
on Facebook Messenger. Okay.
Just quickly on this book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. How does this connect with what we're discussing today?
No. What is written in this book is mainly about strategy of, just making Nigeria and Nigerians, just to give Nigerians hope and see what Nigerians have done and believe in themselves and, have faith.
Yeah, but I'm talking about now the title. I'm not talking about the book, but I'm talking about the title of the book about how Nigeria can become the greatest country in this world. How can the system you just described to us, how can it be connected to Nigeria being the greatest country in the
by
world?
the time we finish that thing you saw, that replacement, Nigeria will be in the top 10 countries in the world, and with the standard of living will be as good as any country you ever talk about in the world. So by the time that one happens, I think that Nigerians will begin to run back to Nigeria. They will begin to run back, and even other countries, African countries and European countries, would like to come and live in Nigeria.
So it will be like Nigeria will be like the America that we have today.
Yeah, there is no, but we are not going to replace America, but at least to be as good. Yeah. So, but the thing is that we have another plan, which is to replace the economy. So while we are doing this thing that I spoke about, one of the things that will be replaced is the economy. One time we spoke, I told you about the 8 things that will be replaced. Yes. One of them is the economy. By the time the economy is replaced, we will finish that process. At the same time, it will lead to Nigeria being in the top 10 economies in the world and in the standard of living.
Wow. Well,
and then we'll replace the system, which will also enable us to later on maintain that standard and to keep on servicing it and for the next 50 years.
You know, we're going to get our callers. I would like to also ask you a question as regards our politicians, because you said that, or I asked you and you confirmed that they perhaps might be the biggest challenge. Many people talk about you being the president and I see the comment. The people write the comment like Dr. Sunday should be our president, and if our politicians are not
going to perform,
I know you always say that you don't want to be the president. Well, won't you be left with no choice?
Yeah, well, for me to become a president is a demotion. It's not a promotion, but a demotion. So that I wouldn't want to be.
But if you're going to juxtapose your personal demotion with the achievement of your goal,
there are two things have to happen. First of all, for me to reconsider that and to make up my mind to go to politics, a lot of things have to happen. Number one, God has to speak to me. Number two, I've been left with no option. Number three, the nation must demand for it. Every tribe, maybe not 100%, but majority, the people themselves must come out to say, please help us. I will not be fighting against somebody to be convincing somebody, campaigning, to convince somebody and campaign and that I don't want to. Unless it is like David, when they come and beg and say, please, come and help us. Yes, then maybe it will be considered. It could be considered.
Okay, all right. So I know that the first option is almost like we don't know what can happen, because that's God talking to you. Maybe we can cry to God and say, God, please talk to him. But I think the most important thing is for the politicians to actually agree.
Yeah, because I don't need to bother myself.
Yeah, because if our politicians would not create any bottleneck in this whole process, then it will be good. We can go. But you talked about just by the way, anyways. You talked about Nigerians clamoring, only if Nigerians will clamor for you. But how will Nigerians clamor for you? What is there any strategy that you plan to do that would make even Nigerians aware that you have something to offer?
No, I live my life every day. I will keep on, just living my own life, doing what I need to do and doing what I can do. Everybody will see, just like you are seeing me now. Somebody else is saying. So if anybody would think that they need me in that sense, then maybe. But I will keep on refusing until I discover that it is God's will and it is the country itself that is demanding for this.
To be president. Well, dear viewers, that's Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sunday saying being the president is the demotion, where some people are, giving their whole life to becoming one. Well, I don't know if we have a caller already, but we can start receiving callers. And let's start receiving our calls. All right. Very quickly, Dr. Sunday has an opportunity for those people who are interested in going to Nigeria to join what we call the Nigerian Transformation Project. People always say, go to Nigeria. Dr. Sunday, go to Nigeria. It will happen. And Dr. Sunday intends to go not just by himself, but to go with a whole team of people who are specialists and people who have ideas, people who have projects in mind that they won't have to bother about the finances. So if you're someone listening to us right now and you have a burden for Nigeria, you have a project, you can easily go and register. Submit your project, submit your idea, submit whatever that you need.
Or just register yourself.
Or just register yourself. You just have to go to sundayadelajablog.com/Nigeria. So Sunday Adelaja, one word, sundayadelajablog.com/Nigeria. So you're going to see an interface there where you can fill in your details. Just submit it. We are compiling all of the names of everyone who is interested in Nigerian projects. And when the doors are wide open and God has given Dr. Sunday the opportunity to move from Ukraine, we're going to get in contact with everybody that has registered, and we'll be going to implement, by God's grace, this beautiful master plan that we saw today.
Yeah, but before the calls begin to come, I need to hear you now, because you are the one who have been pressing me for this thing. So what is your own impression, your feelings? And
yes, one of the first things that my first exposure to this idea, it blew me off, really. Really, because I never thought that this can actually even come to someone's mind. I know, there's some ideas that are just phenomenal. I think we have a caller already. Yeah. Okay, so I'll continue. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. My name is John. I'm calling you from South Africa.
From where?
From South Africa.
Okay.
Okay, please, Sir Sunday.
Yes, sir.
I've always wanted to call you. Thank God today I was able to get through to you. Yeah, I want to ask questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. With regards to I love your idea of making Nigeria a better place. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, I don't know, because I think we all as Nigerians, we see Nigerians' problem from different perspectives. Some people think with the unitary system we're operating right now, we can make a headway. Some people don't think in that way. Like me, I don't feel so. I feel we need a federal system. So in all of these, your plans, do you have a place for, I don't know if you've seen these Action Ferre, Niger Delta, the Middle Belt, Southeast, kind of, let me just say okay?
I didn't hear that. Say that again.
Have you seen the confab reports by Jonathan 2014?
Yes.
Do you think, let me ask you a question, right? Do you think anything is wrong in that?
Yes. I think that they are focusing the wrong thing. They are focusing on restructuring Nigeria, but Nigeria needs reconstruction, not restructure, in my own opinion.
So to you, what's the difference between reconstruction and restructuring? Can you please let me know?
Yes, restructuring is just from that confab that I read. It is mainly about making the decision-making powers to be in the regions. So especially decisions over their income, their income and their resources.
Yeah.
That is restructure.
Restructuring.
Yes.
And you don't like that?
No.
You don't think that would solve the problem?
It will not. And let me tell you if you want.
Okay.
The reason is because if you don't change the value system and the content of character of each Nigerian, the elite in Niger Delta, the elites in Yoruba land, the elites in Igbo land will hijack the process. Those same elites will sit over and on top of their own citizens, just like the governors are doing today, just like the people of Niger Delta who are getting 13% of the revenue are doing today. Ordinary people are not seeing it. The only it will give them more authority to be able to do that without anybody asking them questions.
So you don't think
the problem we have in Nigeria today is more of our elite more than the federal government, because our elite they are all there in that federal government. They are the ones sharing everything. They are our enemy. They are the enemy of the people. And those elites, they don't just come from federal government somewhere. What is federal government? Federal government is nothing. Federal government is the unity of all of them.
They reside in our respective local governments. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you know what, like for me, right? Because I have to talk from my own thinking, right?
Yes, sir.
So what I want to say, because for me, I'm seeing Nigeria's problem from a different angle.
Yes.
In a sense that in Nigeria we have, to me, that's how I see it, right? we have conflict of two civilizations,
Okay.
which is one, the Western civilization, which is predominantly in the southern part of Nigeria, Igbos, Niger Delta, like South, right?
Yes.
Then the North, they believe in this Islamic, this Saudi kind of system of God. So these are the problems we are, and I think if we don't address that problem, there's no way, no matter how lofty your ideas might be, we'll just hit the ground
You know, when those
and nothing will happen.
You know, when those Nigerians meet in the parliament or in the Senate or in the House of Representatives, they are all the
Yeah.
same. There is no
Yeah, yes,
north, south
I
there.
do agree. I agree with that. They are all thieves. We know
Yes,
that.
it is true. They are all thieves, and that is it. I agree
Honestly,
with
they are all
you.
thieves.
I agree with you that there
Yeah,
are two
see, and I tell
civilizations.
you, I'm an Irobo guy, right? From
Yes,
Delta State.
yes,
Omo Agege, that one
yes,
that stole the mail,
yes.
that one is from I was with him.
Wow.
And it doesn't even represent me in any way. It's just there for
The
himself
same
and his
thing for my
family.
own senator.
You
See,
understand? So these
let me,
guys are all crook.
bro, let me tell you what. I agree with exactly what you said, but you are using geography to determine the different, the dichotomy, the class, the two civilization. But me, I'm telling you, the two civilization is not. It doesn't depend on geography at all. It's depending on the elite
Elites and the masses.
and the masses.
That's it.
The elite
No, but
and the masses. You
Mr.
see,
Sunday,
I
Mr.
always
Sunday,
tell the Biafra people, I tell them, you know, how I wish you would get Biafra today. It will be worse than this Nigeria you are talking about because nobody will check them, nobody to control them. Even if you from Orobo, you will get Delta State Republic today. That Omoagege, he will still be the one to be the president. And people like you, nobody will hear your
no,
voice.
that's all. We'll chase him away. We'll chase him away. There's no way.
And if you chase him away, Ibori will come. And Ibori will now be the one to take him. It is about
They are
the
all the
elite.
same. We believe they are all the same. They are the same clique.
You know you are talking. Now you are, and it doesn't matter where they come from. South or east or
No, yeah,
north or
yeah. You
believe
see,
me.
like for me, right? I don't see Nigerians' problem as corruption. Yeah, corruption is the problem, no doubt, right? But that's not the main thing we need to. For me, that's not the main thing we need to tackle right now. I feel what we need to tackle because you see this thing I said before, the conflict of civilization that we're experiencing in Nigeria between the south and the north, right? That's the main focus. That's where
Okay,
to,
allow me.
we need
What's
to
your name again?
tackle.
John, eh? John.
My name is John.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you give me the definition of aristocracy?
Definition of what?
Aristocracy.
No, I can't. I can't.
You
give
can't. Can you give me the definition of egalitarianism? Egalitarianism.
Yeah, I think that's a society where everybody, like equality,
Okay, can you give me
like a
can
very
you give me the
defined.
can you give me the definition of federalism?
Yeah, federalism is where every component unit control their resources.
Feudalism?
Feudal.
No, okay, you said
Feudalism.
feudalism. Okay, feudal
Feudalism.
system.
Huh?
Yeah, feudal system. Okay, feudal system, feudal, right?
Yes.
Okay, feudal. Feudal is where everybody bows down to one person somewhere, decide whatever goes to anybody. It's like this, what they operate in old China.
Is it not the same thing we are operating in Nigeria now? That feudalism that is
That's
in
the
Nigeria.
problem. That's the way. That feudalism is the way of the north.
What? You want to tell me that feudalism is only operating in the north? That Omoigege not be feudal?
No. I'm not. No. Listen. I'm not saying it's the way. Is only operated in the north. It's the way of the north
It is the way the
that is being
elite
imposed.
is the way all
Is
of
the that is
Nigeria is
no.
operating.
The north is. You see, the Islamic civilization comes with feudalism.
No. Feudalism was
It's a
in
feudal kind of.
wait. Feudalism was in all of the world. It was in Europe, it was in
Yeah.
America, it was in
Sunday,
Africa,
please don't
before,
get me
not
wrong.
just
Don't get me
Islam.
wrong.
Hello?
No, don't get me wrong. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
It's the 21st century, right?
Yes.
A lot of people moved away from that feudalism. But right
But as
in
Nigeria move
Nigeria,
away from it,
no,
so there's no
no.
geography. Feudalism doesn't have to do with geography, north to south to. But
No,
John, since I hear you very well, and you are not the one to propose what you are saying. A lot of people in Nigeria are saying the same thing: confab, restructure. I hear them all the time.
Yeah.
I know exactly what they are saying. I know all their points. This is not a place for argument. I will argue not with you, John.
No, we're not
I
arguing.
will, no, wait.
We're not
I will
arguing.
argue not with you, John, but I will argue with the people who call the confab together. They can talk on my level, but you are not going to change my mind, and probably I will not change your mind. But
No, I'm not. No, I'm just.
But let me tell you
not like
what.
I want to change your mind.
Let me tell you what. There are different ways we see the solution, but believe me, I'm aware of what you are talking about very well, more than you can imagine.
Okay.
And I know exactly why it will not work in Nigeria.
Okay. All right, let me leave the stage for some other persons to call. Thank you very much. I'm so happy I could get
Thank you so very much. Blessings.
Bye.
Yeah.
He's sharing the thought of a lot of people, even the very intellectuals in Nigeria.
That's what they are saying.
You see them talking about it. But I think the logic behind, this has nothing to do with even you, because you are the one saying it. But the logic is just there, and the logic is, if you don't change the inner content of people, if people are not changed, if you take them to any place, if you divide them and say, okay, you go here and go to this place, they are still the same people. Whatever they were doing in the previous location
is what they will do
in the new location. Someone once said that if we take Nigerians and we take them to America and we bring the Americans here, it's simple. Nigerians will turn the America that we have today to Nigeria. They will mess up the whole place, and Americans would revolutionize the whole Nigeria. Why? Because
and make it to America.
And turn it to America. Why? Because it's never a question of geography. It's a question of what is making
value system.
Yeah. We have a caller already. Hello, caller. Hello. Hello. I think we lost that caller. Let's get the caller back. Okay. Hello. No, let's get the caller back, please. And I think that's what you're talking about in this book, Dr. Sunday, The Value-Driven Nation. And I think maybe people need to get the book to read it for them to understand that. And I think for them to understand the whole essence of values, because I think maybe because it's I don't know how common the word is, but maybe we don't really. It's so commonized that we don't understand the gravity of the word. That many people talk about
value.
Oh yeah, the values, like values. We saw President Buhari, talking about values today. The previous episode we had Dino talking about values. So maybe it's talked about a lot and we don't understand it. We have a caller. Okay, let's receive the next caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Is that Moses?
No, this is Ashegun John. I'm calling from Nigeria, sir.
Oh, all the way from homeland.
Amazing.
Yes, I'm calling from Lagos, Nigeria.
I'm always excited to hear a call from the continent.
I am a first-time caller, sir.
Wow.
Welcome.
And I've been following you for over a year now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you say you are Ojo?
No, John.
Ashegun John.
Ashegun John. Okay.
Yes. It's a privilege hearing your voice live and direct, sir.
Yes, sir.
And Dr. Anu Ojo, I'm amazed and I'm privileged hearing from you too, sir.
Thank you very much for calling.
Yes, sir. When I was watching and seeing all the plans, I had to write in the comment this evening that this thing that I've seen, it has to be God Himself that actually revealed this to DSA. It's mind blowing, and the way it was also simplified was something that was beyond human reasoning. It's divine, and my prayer for you, sir, is that the Lord will bring it to pass.
Amen. Amen.
So
Amen.
I'm so much excited. I believe so much in the possibility of that. It's very possible.
Amen.
And I know that it will work. It will be
Amen.
possible. In Jesus' name. So, in Nigeria here, we Nigerians, most times, what we always talk about is how things will not work. We
always
never
find
think
ways.
about how can we make this thing work. It is always about how it will not work, and this one will not work, this one try, that one try. What about let's see and let's look for a way to make the ones that we think will not work.
Amen.
We don't want to stress our brain. We don't want to stress our intellect. We are lazy intellectually, like you said.
Yes.
We can walk with our hand, move up and down, carry everything, carry every load. But when it comes to doing things really with our intellect and sit to reason, to strategize, that's where the main work is. That's even the real work.
Yes.
And that's what I've discovered, and I learned that from you DSA. I keep learning from you every day. I'm always stick to the programs, and I'm grateful, sir.
Thank you so very much.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for calling
Yes, sir.
today.
Beautiful.
All right.
Make
sir.
it not be
Sir,
the last time.
No. I'm just starting by God's grace. Every of the program I'm opportune to watch, I will always call in, sir.
Okay, sir.
And I hope the move agents will always allow me to call in.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, this guy that just called, this it could be that our people are looking for hope.
Pastor, I didn't share with you the story with my dad. I shared this idea with my dad. My dad became a believer immediately. When you share and you explained, I showed him the picture that this is what we intend to do for Nigeria. The excitement he came out with, he was like, yes. That now I used to see you and Pastor Sunday talking about changing Nigeria.
I didn't know what you were
You
talking
were
about.
just saying changing Nigeria, but now with this one you showed, it will happen.
He became a believer.
He became a believer immediately, because we've been talking, he watches sometimes, he sees what we're doing, he says we're coming to Nigeria, But when I explained this concept to him, he became a believer. And that's exactly what this Ashegun guy, who called Ashegun John,
And
called.
maybe we have to cut the thing,
Of course, Pastor, we're going to cut this. We're going to cut it.
and just spread
and
it
spread it around.
and give hope to our people.
For them to believe that.
Is that not the question you were asking? That how will we inform,
Yeah,
generate
people
support?
to,
Maybe if they get to, maybe they themselves will clamor for it.
Of course.
Even if the government
If
doesn't want it. If the people get to know, they will demand
They will
for it.
demand for it. And they will believe. We have a caller. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Sunday and Anu. Good evening.
Good evening. Please, can you speak closer to your device
And louder.
so we can hear you clear?
Okay. Yeah, good evening. This is Kevin calling from Austria.
Okay, Kelvin, how are you today?
I'm very fine, and you?
Well, we are trying our best here.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. I normally watch your program most of the time. The one I did not have opportunity to watch live, I try to watch it later.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think I meet the program halfway, but I saw the diagram, the solution that you brought out. This is mind blowing. I believe nobody with his right senses will see this and will close his eyes and say this will not work. I have always believed that it will work, but with this, it's just mind blowing. I've never seen people have been talking about changing Nigeria, but this is, for me, is almost the solution. It's just the solution to change Nigeria, because it's so simple, it's so easy. Anybody can look at the diagram, look at the explanation, and because with that diagram you get almost everything is passing through. The whole of the solution documentation and all is passing through the same process.
Yes,
this is
sir.
so mind-blowing.
Yeah.
This is so mind-blowing. I'm so excited to see this today. I know you have been talking about changing Nigeria, replacing Nigeria, but this is the real replacement I saw today. This is the replacement. So simple, so easy. And there was one of the program I watched. He talked about something like this, but his own part, like, is creating like a city, a smart city, like for Nollywood. He talks about Nollywood, but for me, this is the main thing to change Nigeria. This is the main thing. I've never seen anybody talk about this and show this kind of diagram before. This is just the main thing. This can really change Nigeria. If only the elite will not kick against this.
Yeah.
This is the big problem. If only them will not kick against it, because some of them, they really want Nigeria not to change because they are making out of Nigeria in this situation that Nigeria is presently now. So they don't want it to change. These are the people that will try their much as possible to stop you. Because I know Nigerians, they just need little values and immediately they will change.
Yes.
Look at Nigeria. When they leave Nigeria, they come to Europe or America. Within 1 or 2 months, they change their mindset and everything. There is a system, the environment change their mentality. If they have a car, they can't beat the red light, they will obey. They can't throw things around. They obey the rules because there is a system. And this is the system that you are talking about. This is the system you want to put in place in Nigeria. So I am so happy because I have a lot of passion for Nigeria. I am so happy. It's just like you just show me something like a vision in my eyes that this is the solution. I am so thankful. And talking about being a president, this will not really be a good idea for you, honestly. You can raise a disciple to go into politics and mentor them very well, but being the president, I don't think this. You can be a great mentor, but going for a president, I don't think this is better for you.
God bless
for
you.
me, you are bigger
God
than
bless
that.
you.
You are bigger
God
than
bless
that.
you, bro.
Honestly, God bless you,
you
sir. God bless
especially.
you. I really appreciate you and your program. You have been a huge blessing to my life in Christianity and all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. Anu and Dr. Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but it was very correct. Nobody in his right senses, Pastor. No, it's true. I mean, at least this validates that my dad is who is in the right senses, because I mean, you can't see this, and the way it is so simple, and the fact that something like this is already in operation. I mean, I don't mean something like that. I mean, that green zone that we need.
Yeah.
We already have like maybe 5 of it already.
Okay.
Or even 6 of it already now in Nigeria.
Okay.
But what they are doing out there, that they are destroying more people than they are building
for
people.
themselves.
Yeah, for themselves. So imagine we have something like that. Amen.
We have a caller.
Good evening, caller.
Hello, my beautiful people.
Well,
Mabel.
We continued from where you stopped last week.
yes.
My beloved DSA and Dr. Anu. DSA, you see the problem we're going to have here. Like somebody said in the platform that, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
No, you have to speak louder.
Okay. Somebody said in the comment section that this guy is talking of problem when we are talking of solution. That's exactly the thing. Nigerians, we are always too forward to bring out the problems. But you are here now dishing out the solutions in a platter of gold. I wish my country will listen.
And you always say, my Biafra people, they should listen. And I even wrote a book. I wrote in my book, I wrote an article about Biafra, and I wrote in that article, I said, I want to beg you Biafrans, please, don't leave before I come to Nigeria. Wait till I come first. By the time I come, these all complaints, we are going to replace this country. Please don't leave before time. Because if you leave before time, I will not have authority and to come to Biafra land to go and do this. I can only do this for Nigeria, and I know what will happen in Biafra land, because the same people who have oppressed you will keep on oppressing you over there. Only they will not be Hausa or Yoruba; they will still be your own people. But then, by the time we'll be replacing Nigeria, you'll be regretting it. So I say, please don't go away before I come. Oh.
No, we are not going anywhere. Who is taking us? Nnamdi Kanu. How? How? When he's in London and majority of us are in the village, how is he taking us? He's not taking us anywhere. He's just talking. He's just talking. So let him keep talking. I'm talking, and we are not going anywhere. We are Nigerians. We are Nigerians. We're not moving an inch.
Yes.
Unless UN will carve it out and give to us.
Yes.
Unless America will carve it out and give to us.
Yes.
Which I have not seen done anywhere.
Yes.
So let him Nnamdi Kanu talk. We have freedom of speech. Let him keep talking. I keep talking. Let him keep talking.
Yes.
He's a Biafran by geography. I'm a Biafran by geography. But we remain Nigerians.
Amen.
We're not going anywhere. You see why this thing, how people will think it will not work.
Yeah.
As we are saying about the elites, like my people there, we say Ochiaga one. What do I mean by Ochiaga one? There will always be the one and the only person. But you are like carrying the masses along. You are like, we are sons. You are dealing with human beings like sons of God.
Yes.
But for them, they are anointed. They are the GOs. What you are seeing in Christendom, the GOs, that's what you are seeing in the world. Ochiaga one, Ezife one. You don't see two, you only see one. And when all of them are one, tell me majority of us that will be from 2 to 100. We are nothing to them. But the problem they are having is we are sons. And sons don't carry last. Sons is there to subdue the land. That's what God says. We are here to fulfill our calling. Whether anybody likes it or not, if you like, be the GO. Nobody cares. We are sons. That is what you are dealing with. You are dealing with sons. Imagine the picture you just painted. Can you just imagine what Nigeria will be like? Carving one place, heaven on earth? Move some people there. Just tell me. Let me use Oyedepo. That one that is renting, that is one that is buying jet here and there. I think it's Oyedepo.
Oyedepo, yes.
How do you think Oyedepo will want an alaye to sit in the same place with him?
Right.
But what they don't know is that alaye is their son. The moment the son knows who he is, he will sit anywhere. He will take authority of the ground the father he's given by his father.
Yes.
So that's what's going on here. Please keep treating human beings as sons, because we are sons.
Yes.
Nigerians will even be like, how can I be in this abroad they are trying to bring in Nigeria? No, I'm not qualified. No, it's not me. You are qualified human beings.
Yes.
All sons. You can live in America, you can live in anywhere. We are bringing America down to Nigeria.
Yes.
We are all qualified to live a good life. Thank you so much, DSA. Thank you, brother Ano. I remain with this family for life. Biafra is going nowhere. Thank you so much, family.
Thank you so much, Mabel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for always calling and contributing, giving life to our discussion. Well, dear viewers, that will be the final call for today's episode. How do we change? Not change now, actually, but how do we replace? I'm used to the change. How do we replace the value system in Nigeria?
Replace Nigeria.
Replace Nigeria.
All together, not just value system.
Okay. Well, thank you for being with us. If you've not shared this video, I'd like to encourage you to please share. Share to everyone you know, share to every Nigerian, share to the Biafrans, share to the Afeniferes, share to everybody. Let them actually, the Oduduwa people, everybody, let them see it. Let them know that
hope is coming.
There's hope coming to Nigeria, and there's life actually coming to Nigeria. Well, my name is Anu Ojo, and I want to thank you for being with us today. I'll be giving Dr. Sunday the opportunity right now to give his final words, and we'll call it a day.
What final word? I cannot have any final word but to be humbled and pray and hope that God will help us to bring to pass that which our hearts, that which our heart has purposed, and that which He has put in our heart to implement. That God will touch all the men and the women and all the individuals that could stand on the way, could hinder it, or could enhance it. That God will open their eyes, that everybody will get understanding and will be willing to build a better and glorious country in Nigeria.
Beautiful. And a big amen to that. Big amen to that. Thank you, guys. See you.